by a hostile offshore corporate takeover, and we're in the final phases of our republic being destroyed. Let's go to Frank in North Carolina. Frank, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Alex. You've got a reformed Imperial Stormtrooper on the phone here.
Well, good to have you join the rebellion. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in corrupt North Carolina here. I was just thinking about with regards to Al Gore. Perhaps the elites have decided to sacrifice him to Moloch. Maybe they've given the green light on that because, their little plan, their little agenda didn't go so well with the cap and trade.
Well, let me stop you, and I'll hold you over because I want you to be able to finish your point. But great minds think alike, and I remember Lord Monckton, not in this interview, but in the last interview, saying he believes they will throw people under the bus. I said, how do you think they're going to counter us? And he and others said, well, normally they'll have a sacrifice. They will destroy someone. He said, I don't think it'll just stop with Professor Jones, one of the ringleaders of the university fraud. It may expand from there to even Al Gore. And then Jaron, during the break, right before I went to you, said, Alex, don't you think they're throwing him under the bus? Use the same term you used. Aren't they throwing him under the bus? And they'll get a new puppet for cap and trade. And I said, yeah, I'm going to make that point when I go live. Then I go to you, and you say the same thing, Frank. So, yes, they knew about this the whole time, but also he's now been discredited. And so I think the police were scared to go after him to begin with. And I think the system now may let him be destroyed because it's a convenient distraction. But I'm sorry, he just looks like a rapist, and I don't normally go off of somebody looks, but he always looks, he looks like a pervert to me, but you can't go off that. This woman says she has DNA from him hunching on her, that he ejaculated on her. She says she's got witnesses as well. Stay there, we'll come back to you. 1 minute break, we'll get Frank, who says he's a retired or reformed stormtrooper, maybe current or former police officer. Then we'll go to Brian, Lauren, Jim, and Brian. But again, you're not really a rebellion against the empire. The empire overthrew the republic, so you want the old republic back.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Al Gore is a pervert and sexual predator. ABC News headline, Portland police reopen Al Gore sex abuse allegations. Look, I don't think the police want to bust Al Gore, because they know they'll be punished, they'll be persecuted later. But because this has come out, his wife's leaving him, he's been exposed as a fraud for ClimateGate, set to make billions of dollars off this fraud himself individually. This is coming back to the fore now because Al Gore is seen as weaker. But if the police really wanted to burn him, they'd be having press conferences, they'd be saying they thought he was guilty. Who knows what's really going on here? But this fits Al Gore. And I don't think this woman's sophisticated enough to actually know what an Al Gore would say. I mean, the way she describes him as he's trying to, grab her and hump on her, for lack of a better word, hunching on her. I'm not doing an unwanted. This is not happening. I'm angry with you saying I'm doing this. That is exactly what these guys do. That is exactly what they're all about. They assault you and deny they're doing it. But go ahead and make your point, sir.
Yes. As far as the reformed Imperial Stormtrooper thing, I was referring to my days as a Marine. I've since woke up from that and taken on General Smedley Butler's view on the world and gangsterism and all that.
Well, you couldn't find a better role model for a Marine. He's the most highly decorated Marine in U.S. history. That's a pretty hard order.
He's a two-time recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hey, I caught Jerry Brownfield yesterday. I heard the end of his show. I don't normally listen to his show, but he had a guest on there talking about a book that was written like 100 years ago called The Coming Battle.
Yes, we've sold that book in the past. We don't anymore, but it was written in 1898 about how the private banks were going to take over America and how this wasn't a foreign government taking over. It was a new type of threat, a corporate takeover, kind of like the British East India Company took over China.
Yeah, it was fascinating. I thought I heard you speak on it years ago. By the way, you did wake me up back in 2005. Can I give a quick a review on a product?
Yeah, go ahead.
I in the mail received something yesterday that I had ordered last week. I got it within 6 days. But for those patriots out there that have AK-47 style rifles, if you have one of those small little grips and you have a hard time controlling the point and aim of the weapon, I highly recommend this product by Tapco. It's called a SAW, S-A-W, M249 style grip. It's like the grips we used on our M249 light machine guns in the Marines, but it is perfect for the AK-47 setup.
What is it, like a little bar that sticks out on the bottom?
No. This is the actual primary pistol grips seated behind the trigger guard.
Oh, because that thumb hole is so little?
It's a lot larger, and it allows you to get have a lot more control of the weapon. It's very ergonomical. It's just very, very good.
So you like the 7.6239 type rifles?
Yeah, I got rid of my ARs years ago. I bought into all the propaganda about the 7.62 by 39 millimeter. I think it's good for busting things up. Whereas
it certainly is up close. And, well, I mean, if you want something that isn't going to fail on you, and it's guaranteed, there's nothing like the Kalashnikov, is there?
No, mine's all black. But this SAW grip has turned it into a completely different weapon. I mean, it's just such an awesome feel to it.
Is that the one that has the big giant hole in the butt?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've got a Bulgarian one with a handle like that. Very interesting.
Just like the M249 SAW.
Okay. I'm not really familiar with that, but I'm only familiar with the rifles I've got. I'll tell you what's a good gun. I mean, there's a whole lot of great European 308s out there as well. Hey, listen, thanks for calling in. Good to hear from you. All right, we're going to come back from break, and we're going to go to Brian, Lauren, Jim, Brian, and others. I'm going to try to get through those calls at least, and then get to some more news on the hurricane coming in, the oil. And I kind of want to recap what's going on, because all the time I hear a rebroadcast of my show or I'm on somebody else's show. I was on Mancow's show for about 40 minutes this morning. And he was playing news clips where they were admitting that BP created cap and trade with Ken Lay and Enron. And I've talked about that some, but it was just coming home to me how incredible that is. And the fact that BP is the third biggest bankroller of Obama, and the media is acting like he's against BP. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. Alex Jones here with urgent information concerning trendsresearch.com. The Trends Journal distills the voluminous ongoing research of the Trends Research Institute into a concise, readily accessible form. By tracking 300 separately defined domestic and international trends, The Trends Journal establishes the connections that others fail to see or misinterpret. Gerald Salente's Trends Journal allows you to anticipate change, recognize the implications, and take protective strategies. Individual readers from every walk of life can put the Trends Journal Trends Forecast and Trends Analysis to practical use. Extra information to keep you well informed throughout the year when any current event of major social, economic, or political significance occurs. Trends Journal notifies its subscribers of their implications. When you subscribe to the Trends Journal, you'll also receive Trends Alerts. Visit trendsresearch.com today